everyone, hope you are well. Let's get into the conversation with what's going with Big Bear. A lot of news today with Trumpy Wumpy stuff here, and to just highlight what's going with SoFi and why that stock more than likely has all the opportunity to start leapfrogging here and shock people 100%. Friends, I hope you are well, and I really do mean that. So, okie dokie, let's get right into it. I want to go right into the conversation of Big Bear. Now, the story right now with Big Bear is nothing that I haven't preached on here, and I don't think a lot of people know. If you don't know, long story short, past 9 months with Big Bear, it has been doing many deals, many government contract deals, and pushing more into their airline deals as well this year. We saw partnerships, yin yang, everything, just a lot, and we're waiting essentially for them to get more deals and for revenue to increase. Revenue has got to increase here. So Q2 came out, it was god awful. Q1 of this year wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty close to actually beating expectation. It was better than Q1 of 2024. So with Q2 that was coming up and did reveal itself, it was shockingly bad. Okay, but still, even at that point, we knew I think people that were paying attention to the company knew that it wasn't going to beat expectation. There was no chance of that because it needed to clear 40 million plus. It didn't even come close. Even I was caught off guard. I thought we were going to at least hit 35 million in revenue. We did not. So since then, the stock has taken a tumble from 7, 8 to now we're down to this surviving at $5, and hopefully we can keep this $5 position, which it looks like it's fighting tooth and nail to do that right now. It looks like we're getting that, but the situation at hand here is that today with Trump, and I figured this was coming because I was like, we haven't really heard anything lately about this situation from Trump, and I imagine something's got to be coming up here. So today Trump, this one of the big announcement was about Alabama, Rocket City, all that kind of stuff. But Trump talked about the Golden Dome. He talked about how Canada wanted to be part of it and how this is going to happen. So this is going to start to unfold, and this is billions and billions of dollars. And I would expect that there's going to be a multitude of AI companies, tech companies attached to this with many different ways. Now, obviously, this is where I would love to, hope, Lord willing, that Big Bear could be a part of this, that this would be fantastic. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I really don't know. But the main thing that I think a lot of us look at right now, obviously, is that, Big Bear already having contracts with the United States government, the Defense Department, that yes, there could be something there to, further give Big Bear money, to further their, contracts with the United States government, which would be great. And the thing right now with Big Bear, it's already got so many of these contracts, these partnerships that should start to really bring in more revenue. There still should be some missing revenue that was not on that Q2 report that we could see pop up on Q3 here that should somewhat at least produce a quarterly around 33 to 34 million dollars, which is still not getting us where we need to be by any means. But what we're hoping for here is that Big Bear can just get some sort of nice deal to really change things around. My conversation with Big Bear has not changed from today when I was talking about it even 6 months ago. It's a messy situation. It's a cluster. 100%. I'm in the full belief that, if Big Bear were to announce tomorrow that, hey, we just got a deal for X this, X this amount of millions of dollars, that'd be great. It would be great. And the stock would probably run back up to, 580, 6 and some change, maybe 7, depending on how big the deal is. But, right now, the expectation and the desire for this stock to do more right now is dying out, and that is an issue. So, it's really a situation of, I think, I feel confident that the future of Big Bear will do better. The question is, how long are investors willing to wait for that? Are people willing to say, like, I'm going to give this 6 more months. I'm going to keep buying. I'm going to buy my position down. Maybe I got here a little late. I bought a little higher than I wanted to. I'm going to keep buying Big Bear because I think that something more is going to happen. And if something does happen, Big Bear undoubtedly will run back up to those numbers, no doubt about it. But, I want to be completely honest with you, the longer this situation goes on without Big Bear producing more deals here, producing more revenue, and we get closer to these Q3s that will be coming out. And right now, from what we can tell, unless Big Bear is getting deals right now and they're just not telling us, which would be insane for them to hold that back. This stock is going to go into these next quarterlies with so much fear, where people are there's nothing to sell to the general investor community right now that these next quarterlies are going to be good. There's just not. There's no $40 million quarterly coming up. And I've been someone here, preaching about Big Bear, that I'm hopeful that it can turn things around and do better. And it's had a really good year, no doubt about it. I know I'm talking rough with it right now. I'm talking down to it, but this is a situation where, it needs to pick up the pace 100%. I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for Big Bear here, but they've got to pick up the pace 100%. And obviously, I don't work for Big Bear. I wish I could tell you what's going on inside the company. I wish I could say, hey, they're working on this deal. Hey, they're trying to do this. I imagine the company likes money. I imagine they like deals. I imagine they're trying to do more. But, the thing is, the more time that is lost here, the more ground with the stock price is lost here. So, hopefully before Big Bear goes back down to like $3, $4 stock here, we can see some sort of deal. Now, obviously with Trump talking about this golden dome, all this kind of stuff that will be applied to this situation coming up, this is going to tentacle off into many different factors, elements of contracts, money, all this kind of stuff. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see, a multitude of things happen here with many different tech stocks. So, friends, that's where I'm at with Big Bear. I still think there's obviously something more that can happen here, and I'm hopeful. God knows I'm hopeful. I hope this company gets something going here real soon. Even if it's not with the United States government, that they can somewhat push into more of these airline contracts. That would be huge for them if they could really push into these airline contracts even more and really take that over. There's a lot of airports, so if they could keep pushing into that, that could be their big bread and butter to push them over into this $40-50 million revenue quarterly range that they really desperately need to get to. This company needs to push into a minimum of 180 to 190 million in revenue per year, and it's got to get somewhere fast here. So hopefully their new CEO Kevin does something, and obviously I would love Kevin to give an interview, talk, say something, but we're just not seeing that. So ground is being lost, and it's still a very lively stock. Don't kid yourself, it's still being pushed around here from this now high $4 position to low $5 position. So I'm curious to see how it survives this week. It's going to be a very up and down week in the market. Obviously, the feds are fighting. There's stuff going on. Courts against the tariffs. We got to pay back the money. We're not going to pay back the money. What's going to happen? Friday, job reports. It is so much going on right now to really, and then, are we getting rate cuts? That's a whole nother conversation. Going into that conversation too, SoFi. I don't want to, sound like a broken record here and talk too long about SoFi because I've already talked so much about SoFi. But still, SoFi has anchored itself at this $24, $25 position, and that is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Now, two, it's a great place to be because if from what it looks like, bad news is good news, and good news, we'll take it. So with job reports coming out here at the end of the week, SoFi, whatever happens with these job reports, we know they're not going to be fantastic. There's just no way there's no way things turn around for the better here. So it's not like they're going to be like, oh my God. They're going to be like, they weren't terrible, or they're going to be like, they were pretty bad. But either way, it's going to give more fuel to the fire for the feds to do rate cuts. So that's really what we're pushing into here. Now, obviously, getting closer to this Fed meeting that will be coming up here in 2 weeks, and the Feds are about to go dark here, where no Fed people are allowed to talk to the media, interviews, anything, because they can't give any indication of where they're leaning with rate cuts, what they're going to talk about next, the next Fed meeting. But closer to getting to this situation with the Feds, if they're going to do a rate cut, how many rate cuts, when are they going to do a rate cut. I suspect that a lot of our bank stocks, I suspect that even the market, S&P, will run here. So, I am at the full belief, and I think this is what's going to happen. Obviously, long term, I'm very much in SoFi. I am ride or die SoFi. I think this is going to be a marvelous stock to hold 5 years from now when you're going to be sitting pretty. But in this short moment here, this key moment in time here with SoFi, with these rate cuts, this is a moment here where SoFi undoubtedly could start leapfrogging into 30, 35. Maybe by Q3, 4 here, we could be in a 40 zone dollar price target. Absolutely could be. Don't kid yourself. So with that happening here with SoFi, it's going to depend on, are we getting rate cut? How many rate cuts are we getting? The market will start showing aggressive numbers here if we start getting these rate cuts. By the end of the year here, we could all be like, oh my God, what just happened here? So friends, pay attention to this situation, okay? And like I said, I know people are upset about Big Bear, but listen, I said this 8 months ago. I still say it. It's going to be a hard relationship with Big Bear. Big Bear needs to push the gas to the pedal here, push the pedal to the floor here for gas. It has got to give more here, and I wouldn't throw away Big Bear. I would keep watching it. This is not, because what Big Bear has for their technology, what they offer, it's very wanted. There's obviously a use for it for the United States government. They've got multiple contracts, different kind of contracts with the United States government. So, in the airlines too, and we've already seen all those kind of deals multiply this year. So the big thing is, can they keep getting more, and can they get just one nice big juicy deal? That would really change everything for them, much like the one they got in November. So friends, with all that said, I wish all of you the best of luck, and let's go get them. Let's make this money in the market. Take care, friends. Bye bye.